because one of the primary advantages of working with TypeScript is its excellent feedback within your IDE. Let's take special care to set up our IDE properly. Once again, I'll be using VS Code, so these instructions will be specific for that. However, if you're using JetBrains WebStorm, it provides TypeScript and Vue support out of the box. You can check out the link in the description below for their official documentation on working with Vue in WebStorm. Just be aware that if you aren't already using WebStorm, it is a premium product that requires a yearly license. Alright, for VS Code, we'll want to install the Vue Language Features extension, otherwise known as Volar. Volar provides syntax highlighting, TypeScript support, and IntelliSense for template expressions and component props. In other words, it makes working with Vue single-file components a delightful experience. You can install Volar via the Extensions panel in VS Code. Simply search for it, choose it from the list, and then click Install, which will typically be this button here, but since I've already got it installed, mine's labeled a little differently. Alright, there's one last step that we need to do in order to make type support work for .vue imports in .ts files. You might have heard that in order to do this, you should install the TypeScript Vue plugin. However, as it shows here, it's actually recommended to use Volar's takeover mode instead. This keeps VS Code from running two TypeScript language services at the same time, which can slow things down for larger projects and cause some unexpected issues. The way we enable Volar's takeover mode is by disabling VS Code's built-in TS language service. Alright, so let's do that. In the Extensions panel, we can search for @builtin space TypeScript. Then we can select the top result, TypeScript and JavaScript language features. On the information page on the right, choose the drop-down next to Disable and select Disable for the current workspace. Make sure, though, not to disable it globally, because then you might have issues in your projects that don't use Vue. Finally, reload VS Code by clicking Reload Required. Once VS Code is done reloading, if I open up app.vue, sure enough, in the bottom right-hand corner, we get a little message saying Takeover Mode has been enabled. Alright, let's test it out now. In main.ts, you can see that we're importing the root app component, and VS Code is cool with that. There's no red squiggly lines or any indication of an error. Plus, if I start typing out app dot, you can see that VS Code knows that app is a Vue component. It has properties and methods that a Vue component would. Without takeover mode, VS Code wouldn't work this well with single-file component imports in TypeScript files. To show you that, I'll disable takeover mode by re-enabling the TypeScript language support for just a moment. And then I'll reload VS Code by pressing Command-Shift-P, typing reload, and selecting Developer Reload window in the command palette. Now in main.ts, we've got an error on line 2. And this time, typing out app dot doesn't give us any autocomplete suggestions. Alright, so that's what takeover mode does. Let's enable it again real quick, as we'll want to use it during development. Unfortunately, this is a manual step that you will have to do at the start of each new Vue and TypeScript project. Hopefully, this will be more automated in the future.